What's up everyone, Speedy here. Welcome to this 1v1 video. We're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are in game number 1. Kind of both do a off-tempo delay here. Time for boost. Nice. So what you want to do in a position like this is when you see your opponent's going to be like very early to commit, oftentimes in 1v1s people are very quick to be over aggressive. Be just aware of like how they're going to play like that. Here, don't go for the corner boost. Close that space early, and that's why. Grab that pad and this pad, that way you can set yourself up with momentum into this lane here. Grab that so that way they're not going to have the boost they need. Make the mistake here. There we go. Hit this with momentum. A common mistake that I've made a lot is oftentimes I'll try to slow it down coming up into this side here. Nice. I was a bit aggressive there. It worked because I was aggressive in this position, but the way I kind of recovered, it was pretty high committal. So generally you want to be pretty careful about positions where you're not going to really be able to recover very well. So here, try to force a chow. Try to get a bump. Fortunate miss. Going up back to safety. Kind of see where the opponent is. I have plenty of space. Now I have free ball. That's a good fake. I thought he was going to go and he fakes. That's a good fake. So there, probably just more patience here. So like in this position here, like recognizing the threat, he's going to go for that. Not jump there. Try to play for the 50 on the ground. Single jump 50s are better than full commits there. Try to focus on recovery. Poor shot. Nice. Good pressure there going into the corner. Get a good bounce as well. Just placing for the 50 there, recognizing like I was in a position where I could challenge that. I need to be aware of holding boost after I'm supersonic. That's better. He does a good job collecting it. There, just need to be aware of like not giving the ball away. So let's watch a little bit and kind of see. So there, it's just like the way I flip. Just flipping there is a bad chow, making myself awkward. Kind of if in doubt, it's better to rotate out. It's the old saying. Let's fake up here. It's a really good 50. He messes it up. I think that's off. That's not off. Okay. Good shot. There's just like, if you see that he's going to challenge in a certain direction, that's where using side pops are really good. Using the flip to kind of pop the ball to the side. That's really unfortunate. It like popped me up, so let's see why. Because I tried to single jump there. Maybe I double jump. Yeah, I did double jump. I accidentally double jumped there. I was trying to single jump. Pickups feel a little poor this game, so I want to address that. It's really awkward there. I probably should have just read the bounce off the first hit off the wall there. I was recognizing he was trying to do that, but I just didn't know his angle there. Probably just try to read it a little earlier. Free ball. Free ball once again. I thought I would have got better contact. That was really bad. There, just don't flip. Just honestly not playing super well at the moment. I wanted to, like, see, I probably could have flip canceled there early, or just not flipped at all. Just stay grounded. Alright, that's better. That is a beautiful power slide cut shot. Nicely done. Nicely played. And I misses, bro. Well, GG. Damn. I like the idea for the fake, but I'm honestly in a position where I'm experimenting with that fake, so it's not always going to be successful. It's going to post, I'm pretty sure. That's going to post in. Ooh, this has been a sweaty first game, but lots of mistakes, but good learning, though. Good positions for me to learn from. Nice. Let's go. Okay, just need to not lose this kickoff. Okay. Let's go. GG. Okay, here we are in the second game here. There we go. Trying to be better about lifting off the boost pedal. Perfect. Exactly how I wanted to play that. Okay, that could not have got any better than it already did. So what I wanted to do there is I recognize I lost the mid boost there, is to buy time. If you're in a position where you can be aggressive and you have possession with low boost, you want to be kind of in a position like the way I was. Okay, that was a bit of a mistake there, but where did he go? Where is Blood going? What a shot, dude! What a kickoff shot! Little doink. Nice, dude. You can't do that. You cannot be going for that kind of fake. See, even I stopped doing that type of fake as much because I've gotten scored off enough, like, scored on enough times from that. It's gonna boom it. Not a problem. Just take time. Let's play it across. That's what's gonna happen, bro. That's what's gonna happen. If you want to play it that way and just not go, I just won't go too. I don't know, man. You just gotta play better. opportunity. I'll play that bounce. I'm just gonna bounce a little bit here. Can't turn. Can't get that boost. Oop, I missed. Oops. Dude, that was very much in the exhaust pipes there, so to speak. It's a good bump. Actually, I don't really need to grab that pad. I would rather be in this position because I'd rather be in a position that's easier for me to set up. That's why. That's exactly why. Good play. He just didn't really need to make that touch. Like, he makes way too hard of a touch there, coming off the wall there. Thank you. GG. Okay, we might do a third game. I'm thinking we might do a third game here because that was a pretty quick game. Okay, well, decided to do a third game because, well, obviously. Nice. What you want to do there is recognize you have time, right? So when you're in a position like this, a high pop there, but also be in a position that's wide so you can recognize like where it's going to drop down. Try to do that earlier because the earlier we do that, the earlier it is to read for that. That was really well played. Nicely done. Essentially, the earlier you read for it, the easier it is for you to position yourself for a shot. The less you read, the harder it is to make the adjustments positionally to get the shot you want. Nice. Don't discount the power slide cuts and ground play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why I talk about ground play. One of the most fundamental things when you're trying to improve, learn ground play. That's meaning don't forget to learn airplay and other types of play styles, but focus on fundamentals. Good defense. Ready for the bump. You should not be cutting across like that. Free ball. That could take time. You should have shot that. Nice. Good recovery there. This is a case where if you have momentum... Okay. Okay. Well, to finish my point, if you have momentum in that play, use your neutral jump. Because I was a bit too fast to the setup there, didn't really give myself time. Again, this is kind of what happens when you're in the middle of a game. You don't necessarily have the types of setups that are really easy and slow to be delivered. You kind of have to be in the flow of it. Use neutral jumps to make the adjustment in those plays. You see how a neutral jump allowed me to kind of set up a little differently? That's something I've been practicing, and that's a good case of using that. Try to use that in your game. It's very useful. Okay, here we are in the replay portion of the video. So what we're going to do is discuss a little bit about some of the mistakes that I made and how to correct some of them. So positioning is okay here. Not a great recovery. Have to kind of just be more patient. Don't have to really try to like hop like this. A bit of a safer way to make this play, I've talked about this in the last video's replay review, is just being aware of making the commitment to flip off the wall here. So to bring it back just a little bit, one of the things you want to be careful about is pay attention to where the opponent is sitting. They are sitting in a position where if I mistouch it and they are in a position essentially to catch it, essentially what's going to happen is they'll just shoot. So this is dangerous. What you could do instead of flipping a single jump, so you have a flip ready and you could use that as a recovery flip. Instead of double flipping or double jumping, which essentially creates the flip, you want to be a bit more patient here. Because you see how he gets a catch here and it just makes this play a little awkward. If he was a bit more patient with the position, he had a definite shot that he could have shot it over me. So again, something I could have done a little bit better there. So good job being patient here. Then I grabbed the corner boost here, have a good position to work with. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to cut here, assuming the opponent, I should have had vision of the opponent. I didn't realize that they were this far back. Didn't get the bump there, that's okay, that didn't work. Just a couple of misplays there, and you can see early on, that kind of sets the tone for the game there, as these little misplays do make a difference. It's a good idea on the cut shot there, just to try to bring it to the side. Here, just get a slight contact there and make it a little more awkward for him. It's a good job here getting the flick early. Typically in positions like this, what you want to do is if you see your opponent's going to early chow, it's better to flick it than it is to try to control the ball. Because if you try to control the ball, especially when it's in your corner or in your half or somewhere that's typically a bit more on the danger side, what can happen is you'll lose possession. Like at worst, you'll get scored on. At best, it just creates a weird 50-50 that you can then play off of. But if you flick it early before they can really fully chow, you could do what I did there. You could flick it above them. So it's a case there. You just want to use flicks to your advantage. I don't mind that I went for this corner boost there. It's a bit of a hard read, and I understand why I went for that. This was a big error right here. This is a really stupid mistake. Typically, when you're in a position where you can get the corner boost, you can be free to do that, but that comes at a positional cost of your timing. And you also need to be aware of the bounce of the ball. This was a big error. I completely gave possession away because the opponent, all they had to do was just read the play. And it's an easy shot. Don't do what I did there. If you want to go for the mid boost, recognize first whether or not the bounce is going to actually occur. If it's a flat ball and you see it's going to roll up into your corner, then it's probably safer for you to grab that mid boost and then the corner boost if you have enough distance or a gap between you and your opponent. But if you first, you want to see if it bounces. If it bounces, don't go for that corner or for that mid boost. Grab the corner boost or focus on making sure the ball's in a safe position by bringing it out into open space that you can play off of. That's a good recovery there. I like the zap dash there. It's a good zap dash. If I was a bit more patient, I didn't have to necessarily go for a shot. This guy was 0 boost, so I could have easily had a control touch and then had like good possession play to work off of that. Because of that, it just kind of made the play a bit more awkward. Went for a bump here. Fortunately, it does post out. And don't exactly get the play I want. Here, it's good patience here, just taking time. This is a little play, but it's a very important play. Pay attention to the direction change in my car. What you want to do is recognize in this position, I don't know how much boost the opponent has. I'm not at the level where I can perfectly consistently like read how much boost people are going to have all the time. That comes with time and awareness. You build that over time, but right now my goal here was to be ready to defend, because assuming if they had boost, try to respect the potential shot, because if they made it like a wall to air shot, easily could have done that, and that could have been something I need to respect and be ready to save or be ready to get ready to defend. What happens is I turn here, so I fake here. So this is a fakeable angle that could be really useful. Learn to fake, but recognize that you see how I point this way. So I point about here and then I turn back, but I don't point here. There's a big reason why. Is a good fake allows you to get back to a position, because remember, faking is a type of commitment. It's a fake challenge, but it's still technically a challenge. It's still a play where you're doing something. And so when you turned all the way, that presents yourself in a much more committal position. And if this person stayed aggressive with this, assuming they didn't get this boost yet, but they were still on the wall and they still had boost, they could easily now shoot it over me. And now I'm facing this way when the ball's going this way and that's going the other way. I can't save that. But if I'm facing this way and I come back around and I could shadow it, now it's a shadowable angle. And you see how just like that, now I'm in a position that's easy for me to save. And of course, results in a goal. A lot of my goals this game, as you will probably see, are generally forcing open nets. And this is a bit of a thing that comes with time. Learn to force plays in your favor, and you will start to win more possessions, you will start to win more interactions, and you will start to potentially win more games. This was a really awkward spot. I could have gone for that. I could have gone for that corner boost, but the problem is it's committal enough, and this touch was really too weak. What I could do is get a better touch here. I'm okay with this, but this flip touch and like a soft skim flip where essentially you're flipping away from it creates a potential opportunity that I had to now cover a shot, because if I went for that corner boost, the opponent could have made a power slide cut shot, and that's what he was going for. He saw that I was staying in a position that was kind of hard for him to be able to get set up here. Here, I tried to set up my recovery so that way I can grab that pad. Now I have plenty of boost to work with. I do the same mistake again. I flip left instead of flipping right. Zig instead of zag. It's good setup here. I'm low boost here. Fake for that. Try to grab a pad. End up missing the pads. Get a good save. Don't get the recovery. Pretty poor recovery. Try to grab a pad or two. This leads to a goal because I wasn't really able to really defend. So he gets a touch there. This isn't a bad idea. Flakes in his road to SSL 1v1 series actually got scored on in a very, very similar manner. What happens here is as I'm getting ready to make the approach for the save, I don't mind that even if I'm low boost, I grab that pad. But what you want to do is you want to use the flip in a way to pop it left or pop it really high up to the left away from where the opponent can read it. They ended up reading it and getting the dunk there. This is kind of a position where you can save it, but you want to be aware of where the opponent is spaced and what space they're closing into. These things matter, and they matter a lot in ones. I definitely was making a lot of really bad misses. It was really poor of me. I was just getting impatient and I shouldn't have been. I gave up on the play here thinking this was in. Don't give up on the play. Recognize that it could still be off. Still try to close into the space because at this point it gets me scored on. It was a bad mental etiquette, so to speak, and there just no recovery, and they have an easy shot that they can go into. Again, don't give up on the play. That was a misjudgment there. Don't do what I did there. You see, I was a little bit mad at myself. That was really stupid of me. I was like really annoyed because I made that mistake. Faking for that's actually not a bad thing because it forces a bit more of a rushed play from the opponent. It's not a bad touch. Here, recognize, don't go for that corner boost like I did last time. I actually missed the ball. I didn't really want to. That's a good shot here just to put pressure here. Can't go for the immediate shot. Get a good recovery here. And here, just try to be patient here. Get a good scoop. Also just trying to pay attention to where the opponent is and space. Again, another miss, really poor play. I should have been scored on once again. Opponent misses the second open net. Again, Diamond 2, these mistakes happen, but these are mistakes you shouldn't be making. And I should not have been making as well. It's a good recovery. I wanted to go for kind of a late flick there. That miss was just more kind of greed, I would say, than anything. There, I wanted to go for kind of like a type of flick that would put me in a good spot. And here, just once again, forcing a position where the opponent can get an open net. And Unlike him, I scored my open nets. He missed his open nets. Everybody's going to have open nets at some point. You have to score them, especially when they're high percentage shots. This was a bit of a side flip there. Have to be careful. I really don't want to be side flipping here. This is an interesting position because the opponent does have something to work with. I get a really good, like really good flick out of it, and I save my boost. The key thing here in this position is watch my boost total. I don't use my boost until I'm in this play, until I have a high percentage play where that boost is going to be necessary for me to be able to score. Pay attention to your boost count. Recognize how much boost you have, and you'll do better. Here, this is a... If you watched earlier in the video, I messed up this type of kickoff. This time, I actually did a slightly better job. What you want to do is, when you're going for this, is not this type of flip here, because it's a bit slower. Do the speed flip movement, and then instantly what you want to do is try to be turning right. So, like, for example, as you're flipping, as you're getting ready to land as well, go up and instantly turn left and then speed flip back with the bit of boost you have. Try to save boost for this pad and use this pad as a reference point for you to be able to turn around and then go back to the corner, assuming that it goes to the corner. Obviously, you want to be in a position where if the person reads the fakes, you know, and goes for shots in this position, you do want to try to be careful about that, because a good player, if you fake badly, meaning if you see the name tag and it's not really getting closer like this, if it's not getting closer but it stays like here and it's like really not much different, instead of being like this, then there's a bit of a higher chance the person is going for a fake. In that position, I went for that other pad too. That's a bit dangerous here. You want to be careful about the way you play this. That's something I'm going to be experimenting with. I will try to continue improving that. Here, just be patient. Let the opponent make their mistake. They got that boost, that's fine. Try to be careful about the bump play. Get a control touch as well. Recognize, again, Angry Shark, as Flakes calls it. Guy is going to go for the bump. That's all he has left in the game, is final play. Missed the play there. I kind of wanted to go for a cool flake. I'm not going to lie, I just kind of wanted to go for it. Good patience there. It's a really bad idea to turn here. A common mistake is that you will see this as an opportunity to try to early chow off the bounce. It's low time on the game. Think high percentage, because if he gets a touch here, because he very easily could have gotten a touch, that could have boomed out. And if you chowed that, easily you could have been in a totally bad position and no way to recover. And there would have been just enough time for that person to get a scoop, dribble the ball, and have an open net. So be aware of these things and just get a soft touch here, control touch into open space, and that's what ends the game. If you enjoyed watching this video and learned something, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Speed Demon out.